quickly. They're not an island when it comes related to the effects from the environmental issues that we face, like climate change or sea level rise, or what do we do with the waste that's generated down here, what do we do with our yard waste. So what we're doing with the county, yes, we have to drive through the county to get to Key West if we come here, but we're working actually with the city on several issues to help with some of these issues. And I'm going to write down what Ed down there said at the end. He said environmental improvements cost more. Well, we hope that's not always true, and what we're doing is trying to work with the other governmental entities and businesses to try to ensure that that's not always true, because there's a lot of things that we can do to help our environment that maybe necessarily won't cost more. At times, perhaps they do, but at other times, we're hoping that they don't cost any more than what we're already paying. For instance, like on our waste management, we happen to be in this little happy period here where all of the contracts for the city and the county for waste management and recycling are up at the same time, and we're deciding ourselves now whether we're going to go up for solicitation or whether we're going to continue to negotiate with our current contractors on our waste collection. And so we have an opportunity here to look at what we're doing, see, we've heard obviously what the city and what your residents have said they want. So we're looking at the same thing for the county residents, and we're looking at whether we want to do a joint program and work together with going on a solicitation or a contractor to help us put our waste together and get a vendor in that maybe we don't have to pay more. Maybe we can be more green, maybe we can handle our waste in a proper manner, not send it 200 miles north, and handle more of it here. First of all, we want to get less of it. Second of all, we want to be able to handle like the composting. Let's collect yard waste and let's set up a composting program and do something here. So yes, it's not free. We're going to have some costs in setting it up, but what we're hoping to do is offset some of those costs by not paying the $80-some a ton and ship it up to Broward to Berkeley. So we're looking at those type of programs with the city and the county here. And some of the other things we're looking at, recycling, obviously, to increase the recycling. We're listening to all the good ideas that we're hearing from the citizens here. We're hoping to implement a lot of those changes to increase the county's recycling rate also. And we're doing some fun things. We're looking at the airport. You all know where the airport is here and how that big that roof is out there. But we're looking at doing a solar project on the roof up there to help generate some solar power. We're going to work, and I'll get to a minute here, to some of our regional collaboratives, but we're working with some regional partners on helping solar projects down here in the entire region of Southeast Florida become more permittable. It's actually kind of difficult to go in and get solar projects permitted, and it's even more difficult to get them financed. So we're working with initiatives. There's a program called PACE where it's actually where you as a homeowner, it's not active yet, or a businessman, instead of going to a bank and taking out a loan for like a solar project for your home, you can take out a loan and put it on your tax rolls and pay just like you do when you hook up to your wastewater. And that's a way to finance these energy efficiency projects. We're looking at that with the county, probably going to be businesses first. We can't do home ownership because there's some issues with who takes precedence in your mortgage, but those are the type of issues that we're looking at a little more globally and working with the city on also.
What's the name of that called again?
It's called the PACE program, Property Assessed Clean Energy.
Thank you.
A lot of information out there on that, and it's we're probably going to be having a discussion at the county commission here in the next several months on whether we're going to go forward with the program. I know a lot of other counties and cities have jumped the gun in there. Actually, in the last 6 months, there's been at least a half a dozen counties, probably 15 to 20 cities that have adopted a program where they allow this to happen. And so hopefully we're next in line. And those are the type of things, when you hear these discussions at the county commission, I'm going to get in a little bit more about actually the things that are coming up. Support them. You can call your commissioners and say, look, this is, so you support these green initiatives, because if we don't have your support, we're not going to get the support at the commission level to pass some of these things that need to be passed, because they're new and they're innovative for us down here. But we really should be leading the entire rest of at least the state. We should be ahead of everybody, because we are the canary in the coal mine down here. And what are we there? Okay. And so we should be really leading initiatives in our green initiatives. And I'm going to get in just a couple of things here. What we've done is Allison and many other people have spent the last 2 years of their lives helping work on a plan, Chris Burke was another one, called the Monroe County Climate Action Plan. And it's, this is a draft. It's actually going to be presented to the county commission next week, Wednesday, in Marathon at 10 o'clock, I believe. And this is what helps us, you know, we have, whether you believe it or not, in climate change, the level of the seas are rising. They've risen, what, 8?
9 inches in the last 100 years.
9 inches in the last 100 years, and they're projected to rise even faster. So what we've done is they provided this, prepared this climate action plan. It's by a group of committee appointed by the commissioners, and there are, I'm just going to go really quickly, there are several areas that they talk about: policy coordination, education and business development, and then they get into the real nitty-gritty with natural systems, the built environment, our roads and bridges, water and wastewater. You heard Allison talk a little bit about that, renewable energy and solid waste and recycling. And what this does is that there's actually 72 action items in here, and of course I'm not going to get into this, but they talk about all these different things that we can do as citizens and the county and the city to lead some green initiatives. And I'm just going to read you a couple of their top 6 recommendations. It's revise the Monroe County Comprehensive Plan to address planning related to climate change mitigation and adaptation needs. Develop an implementation strategy for the climate action plan. So we've got 72 items in here, but we don't know how we're going to implement them. So that's going to be actually my job. Once the commission accepts this plan, I'm going to develop a plan for how to go implement these.
Your 5-year plan.
Yep, 5-year plan. More than 90 days anyway. Create policies to incorporate sea level rise vulnerabilities. We're obviously very vulnerable down here, so we're already taking a look at our roads and bridges. Everybody, you don't know about the fire station on Stock Island. We actually built that a foot higher than required by code because we wanted to have foresight. We didn't want it to go underwater any quicker than it has to. So we're looking at all of our county buildings now to build them yet higher than what's required by code to prepare for this future sea level rise. And so this is the County Climate Action Plan. It's going to be presented next Wednesday. The things you can do is help, call your commissioners and support when you hear these things. I'm going to just talk real quickly about our regional. This is the Regional Climate Action Plan. It includes 4 counties: Monroe, Palm Beach, Broward, and Dade. And this was just released last October, and we all worked together. This is another, I think, 2-year process where we work together to create something regionally, because it doesn't do any good if we prepare down here, if our northern neighbors aren't helping prepare, because as you know, our water comes from there and a lot of our resources. And if they don't prepare, then it means we're stuck down here at the end without water or wastewater, things like that. So that's why this is also very important. And that's from an organization called the Southeast Florida Climate Change Compact. Those 4 counties joined, including us, joined 4 years ago. And every year we host a summit to go over what we've done. So this year we just released this a while ago, and now we're actually into the implementation phase. And there's another even bigger organization called the 750, S-E-V-E-N 50. You can just go to 750, okay, I'm already at 8 minutes, 750.org, and this is actually the 4 counties I just mentioned, plus Martin, St. Lucie, and whatever that other one is up there. And that is, they received a $5 million grant from HUD to do a lot of community initiatives, which includes a lot of sustainability planning and climate change. They're actually working with the climate change counties to help take the building of sustainable living. And if you want to take a survey, just go to seven50.org, and there's a survey out there that you can take. You don't have to give your name, but there's a lot of different questions on there about, about what you can do to help. So that is, I just want to make sure I covered everything. That's kind of a regional issue. So I'm done.
Thank you.